Good morning, yogis. Welcome to this class for 60 minutes of mindful self-care yoga, which is also known as Hatha Yoga. This is a class where we're going to move with the pace of the breath. We're going to hold certain poses to feel good and settle into the body. And especially, we're going to dedicate this practice to happy hips, happy hips. We're going to strengthen them. We're going to stretch them. And we're just going to do some poses to feel good in the lower back and a little bit engagement of the front of the belly, because all these areas, as much as we like to compartmentalize the body, it's all connected. So I hope you have, what I'm trying to say, I hope you have the ability to surrender to whatever resistance you might feel in the hips, so you can create that space for them to feel more support, more loving, and being cared of. For this practice, you might or might not need 2 blocks and a blanket. It's always optional, the props. And if you don't have blocks, if you don't have a blanket, feel free to find something at home that mimics the props. I also wanted to send, before I forget, this weekend, I'm going to be sending an email. We're going to do some dramatic changes into our schedule to make the classes more accessible, more in alignment with your needs. And so stay tuned for that email this weekend. Please go ahead and take the survey, because your feedback is going to help me to help you better. Okay. With that being said, let's go ahead and start on our backs. And take a moment there to just rest the feet on the ground, bend the knees, and bring your hands into your chest and your belly. It doesn't matter which one, it's just make sure one is on the chest, one is in the lower belly. And make sure the shoulders are relaxed, the sacrum is relaxed, and just slightly keep the feet as wide as your mat. Knees bent, pointing straight up to the sky. Take a couple breaths here to settle in. Deep in the inhale. Pause and take a full and long exhale. One more breath, inhale. And long exhale. Reach the arms overhead, let the shoulders feel that stretch. Relax the elbows or the palms into the floor. And gently, we're going to rotate the hips and the knees like a windshield wiper. So we're going to come to the edge of your feet as both knees are going to drop to the right. So your right hip is touching the ground and your left hip is actually elevating. Continue pushing that left hip forward, making your left knee heavy down to the floor, hovering. So you can feel that stretch on the front of your quad on your left side. A gentle twist on the lower back. Relax the shoulders, the face. One more breath in. As you exhale, slowly come back to center. As you start inhaling, continue rotating the hips and the knees to the other side, all the way to the left. So now this time we're trying to push that right hip even further. So you can breathe into that right quadricep, and as your right arm reaches above the head, you're going to feel that long side stretch on the right side of the body. So be mindful on sensation and moving with intention. Continue moving at your own pace for 5 more rounds, starting now. Just let the breath be the pace of your movement. Make sure the breath is steady, long inhales and long exhale, equal length. Just remember that harmonious breath we practiced before. Keeping the mind fully focused on how this feels in the body. Respecting your body's boundaries. So if this is the first practice of the day, it's okay to feel a little tightness, a little tension. And as you move, continue letting the body gently find its balance. Make sure your feet are grounding you into the ground so you can continue moving through the hips and the knees, hovering side to side. We have 2 more rounds. It's a gentle way to awaken the hip joints and the lower back. The hip flexors. And last one. Once you come back to center, give yourself a moment to settle the sacrum and then hug the knees to your chest. Bring your hands behind your knees and just let your feet dangle here. Gently rock side to side. Now keep your hands now on top of your knees and push the femur right above the hip. Gently extend the arms but relax the shoulders. And we're gonna move the knees in big circles. So bring them in, out, forward, and together in the center. And you're gonna do that 3 more rounds. It's almost like you're gently moving. Feel the body weight coming to the middle section of the back. And as you push the knees forward, notice how the weight shifts more into the sacrum. So you're also massaging the lower back. As you breathe some lubrication into the hip joints, right into the hip socket, and then the slower you go, the more kind and gentle you are, obviously. And just 1 more round, meet in the center, and then switch directions. So knees forward, out to the side, and back into the chest and center. And push them forward together, spread it out, back, chest and center, and 2 more rounds like that. Especially if you are seated for many hours, if you're standing for many hours, whatever you do, if you walk a lot, if you're a runner, this is a good nourishment for the hip joints. Good, take 1 more breath in here and come into your supine pigeon, right ankle on top of the left thigh. Be as gentle as you can. Let that left foot hang down. Gently pressing as far forward as you can that right thigh as you hug the left knee into the chest. Now with your left hand, grab that right heel and draw all the way to the left. So we're doing a gentle twist. Once your right foot touches the floor, open that right knee away from the chest and pointing straight up to the ceiling. Press your hips to the left, open your right arm to the right. And use your left foot to help you feel grounded. Keep your gaze in such a way that helps you to feel relaxed on your neck. 2 more breaths, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And slowly come back up to center. Release both feet into the floor. Notice for a moment, gentle pause. And find your pigeon on the other side, crossing your left foot on top of your right thigh. Hug the right knee in, push the floor, push your left thigh away from your chest. And bring a sense of relaxation in your face and shoulders and neck as you exhale. One more breath in. Long exhale. Find that gentle twist. Left foot grounds on the right. Open that left thigh away from the chest. Open that left arm out to the side. 2 breaths in here. Keep pressing the pelvis to the right and forward. Beautiful. And then slowly come back to center, both knees up and feet on the ground, arms overhead again. Now we're going to roll back and forth here. So hands behind your thighs. We're going to inhale, come all the way to the hips, find your Navasana. Exhale, roll back into the shoulders, hips lift up. And you're gonna do that 3 more rounds. Exhale, back to the shoulders. Inhale, forward to the hips. Exhale, back to the shoulders. Inhale, forward to the hips. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale, hips. Stay on your Navasana for a moment. Find your seat bones lengthening through the crown of your head. And relax the shoulders, the jaw, and the face. Hands can be behind your knees. Hands can be reaching forward for more challenge. One more inhale. As you exhale, right foot crosses up on top of the left. Hug those heels into the hips. Squeeze, 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 reach the hands forward. And then exhale, release everything down. Let's step back into our first tabletop. Once again, if you need padding for the knees, go ahead and place your blanket. If coming into your wrist is sensitive, remember you can come into the fists, you can come into the forearms, okay? So adjust your practice. As you are here on your tabletop, neutralize the spine. You can tuck the toes or press the top of the feet down, whatever feels right. We're gonna do cat-cow. Continue now through the spine. Inhale, open the chest. Lift your tailbone. Exhale, tailbone drops. Belly in, push the foot away, let the head drop down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Find your neutrality here. And we're going to do circles, big circles on the air with the right knee. So try to lean more into the right hand and hover the right leg back. And then bring that right knee into the chest. Open out to the side and back as you keep the right knee bent, heel up. So we're also strengthening the glute and try not to arch the lower back. Keep those ribs in and the belly in. It's all coming from the hips. So knee into the chest. Open out to the side, lean into the right, kick it up and back. And moving slowly with the breath and your own pace. We are now awakening the hip stabilizer muscles. Those muscles that you are going to need for tree pose and warrior threes. And then keep the knee into the chest, kick the knee back and up, keep the knee bent. And open out to the side. Now we're shifting the circle back, out, in, and 2 more rounds, and lean into that right arm. Notice how everything starts collapsing into the left. Keep the breath. I know, I hold the breath. So I'm sure you did too. All right, so take a moment here. Come into your forearms if you haven't been there yet for a moment. Rest, drop the head. A little bit of upper back strength. Continue pushing those elbows away from the shoulders. Now we're gonna do that on the other side. So take your time, whether you stay on forearms or come into your palms. Kicking that left foot back. Then bend that knee into the chest, open out to the side, kicking up and back. Remember to try to close the ribs in here as much as you can. Movement is coming from the hips. Lean into your left hand. Keep the head straight forward so you're not collapsing on the neck. And breathe. Switch direction with the circle, kicking that left foot straight up to the sky, knee bend. Open out, it's almost like a fire hydrant here. And then bring that knee to center, straight up to the chest. A little core here, kicking back, bend the knee, out to the side. Keep that knee bend all the time, knees bend. You're just doing or drawing imaginary big circles in the air with your knee. Long inhale and exhale. One more breath. Good, and then exhale, release. Child's pose for a moment. Child's pose to help you reconnect to the breath. Sometimes the simplicity of the movement can become very complex, right? When we start to pay attention to all the nuances of how to be mindful in the breath and movement. One more breath in here. As you exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana. So take your time to come into downward facing dog. Now we're stretching the back of your legs, strengthening your upper back. So make sure the shoulder blades are apart, slightly internal rotation of your biceps. All your knuckles and your fingertips are really grounding yourself through the palm and allowing the spine to grow taller so your hips and your seat bones are feeling like a magnet straight up to the ceiling. Minimize any excess curve on the spine and allow your thigh bones to press back to help you balance the weight of your body between your hands and your feet and your toes. Now bend the right knee, lift the right heel, stretch your right toes, left heel comes a little closer down to the floor. And then switch inside, walking the dog very slowly and mindfully, bending the left heel, bending the left knee, pressing those left toes, right heel drops. And let's just do that a couple more times, breathing in, exhale, one more time, inhale, switch, exhale, switch. Now bring your stillness in downward facing dog for just one breath. Now bend the right knee and bring your right heel in and bend your left knee. So your right leg is straight. It's almost like you're doing a warrior one back leg on the right. And then lean into the left and let your right arm hover above the head. Just like a gentle downward facing dog, side plank, you're kicking the right hip to the back and then come back to center. And if that was a little weird, that's okay. So it's supposed to be like that. It's not an official pose per se. So bend your left knee, bring that left heel in, and then straight that left leg, bend the right knee, lifting the right hip. Sorry, the right heel. Kick your left hip to the left, so you're stretching the outside of your left leg. Push the floor away with your hand, shift the weight into your right hand, and then the left hand can kind of hover. So gentle side stretch deeply, and then come back to center. That's it. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, walk to the top of your mat. Take a moment here in Uttanasana. Bring in my sequence here that I had designed for this class. Now in Uttanasana, give yourself here to maybe open your feet as wide as the hips. Maybe kick the hips side to side for a moment. We'll continue stretching the outside of your hips. Let the head feel heavy. Let your hands rest somewhere that helps you to feel grounded. One more breath in. Exhale. Good, and then continue in your next inhale to lengthen your spine halfway up. That's it, exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up again. Exhale, hands down, stepping back into downward facing dog. Take a moment in downward facing dog, reach your right leg up and back. And we're gonna do that circle drawing on the air on the right side. So try to keep your hips square. Level the weight between your palms and your left foot. Bring your right knee to the chest. Stay in downward facing dog. We're not going into plank. Open that knee out to the side, kicking up and back. Big draw circles with your right knee on downward facing dog. And notice how the body wants to lean forward. Keep pushing the floor away with your hand, pressing your hips straight up and back. Switch direction of the circle, 2 rounds. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Release that right foot down. And notice how you're starting to build some heat around the hips. This is the strengthening, guys. This is strengthening and nourishing the hips with love. Let's do 2 more on the left. So left foot reaches up and back. Keep the hips square. Knee to chest, stay in downward facing dog. Open to the left, up and back. And 1 more inhale. Exhale, switch direction, out, in and back. I don't know about you, but my hips are popping here. I think they're happy. And then release back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come into your knees. Exhale, press back into child's pose. It can be a lot for the upper arms, building strength on the upper back. 2 breaths here, settling. Good, and then slowly from your downward facing dog, come into your knees, and we're gonna come into gate pose. So I'm gonna face the front, the wider side of my mat on the left side so I can face you. If you need padding on the knees, feel free to place the blanket right under your knees. And then from here, we're gonna kick that right leg out to the side, and then you can have the heel down to the floor, toes up. That's going to be more of an external rotation. If you think about your thigh, if you place your hands on your thighs are opening out. It's an external rotation. So that's one option. Option 2 is to kind of have an external rotation, but not so open, by drawing the toes forward, pressing through the outer edge of your foot. So now we're just doing an adoption here, okay? Whatever you choose, it will depend on how it feels best for your hips. There's not wrong or right, better or worse, it's just different. I like to do sometimes heel because I feel more the stretch on the calf and the inner thigh. And sometimes I like to put my toes down because I like to stretch more my ankle joints and engage and strengthen more my outer hip. You can choose both or different, just so you know the difference. Make sure your right hip is not hiked up. Just drop it and neutralize through the front of the pubic bone. Then from here, release your right hand gently into that extended leg. Left hand reaches up, and we're gonna do a gentle side bend. Open the chest towards the ceiling, inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale. 1 more breath, inhale. As you exhale, come back to center. And then press your pelvis back. It's almost like you're going into that child's pose. As you keep that right leg extended, reach your hands forward. Stay here, 1 breath. And then inhale, use the strength to press yourself back into that knee. Right arm reaches up, left hand out to the side. Release that left hand into the floor. And then hover into that left hand and hover that right leg up. And so now you're doing this side plank variation with your left knee down, left hand on the floor, right leg hovering as high up as you can, kicking your right fingertips above the head. 1 more inhale. Exhale, release that right foot down, come all the way up and release. How was that? Was that fun? It's nice to change things for a little bit, don't you think? Extend your left leg out. Are you hiking the hip? Drop it, stabilize. Try to use the same position of your toes that you did on the right. Let's do that side bend, right hand up, leaning to the left, opening the chest, maintaining relaxation as you breathe. 3 rounds of breath, inhale. Exhale, Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, back up to center, take a long inhale. As you exhale, hands reaching forward, reaching back into this variation of child's pose, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, lift yourself up. Left hand reaches up, right hand kicks out to the side. Lean into that right side so your right hand touches the floor, and shift the weight into that right hand to hover that left leg as high up as you can, left hand straight up. You can look down, you can look forward, you can look anywhere you like. That feels good in the neck. 2 breaths. Keep pressing the pelvis forward, engage the core. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, release that left foot down, kick your chest straight up, and then close that left knee. Good, back into downward facing dog. You got it. And just notice, all this sequence so far is to make your hips a little happy, just to awaken what is sleepy and to give some rest to whatever might be overworking. One more breath in here. Exhale, good. Take an inhale, bring your right leg up and back. As you exhale, pigeon on the right side. So right knee to the right hand, right foot to the left hand. Kick that back leg slightly back. Stay high on your pigeon and try to square the hips so we're not sitting on the right. Shoulders square, crown of the head forward, straight up to the sky. And just notice the engagement of your pubic muscles, lengthening through the sacrum, keeping the core strong, draw in. One more breath, let the weight of gravity press you down, but resist it with the inner strength. One more breath. But now from here, we're gonna do side plank. So that right foot is gonna come to the right side of your mat. If you're not sure, just take a moment to take a look at what I'm going to do. And I place my left hand and I'm gonna shift my weight into the left. So that back leg's gonna lift, and then I'm gonna lift and come into my side tripod. So the bottom hip is gonna lift myself up. That right foot is right in the center of the mat. Make sure that heel is tracking right under your right knee, and continue opening the chest, lifting up. One more breath. Good, and then exhale, release the hips down all the way to the floor and come into your twisted to the right, keeping that right leg crossing over the left. And going all over the board today with this practice to also get your mind away from the expected sequence, right? So notice how that feels for you. Feels frustrated, confused, to be challenged, to get out of your comfort zone. It's good. It's a good space for growth. Acknowledge. Just laugh about it. And this class will be on demand, so you can try it again. Take one more breath in here. Now, as you exhale, we're gonna come all the way to the left, all the way to the left, to press ourselves back up into downward facing dog. 2 rounds of breath. Pigeon on the left side. When you're ready, inhale. Exhale. Same sequence on the left. So I give you all the instructions, all the cue on the right. And usually on the left, I try to give you a little bit more of a stillness, quiet, so you get to explore your own practice, your own body, your ability to stay still and calm. Listening to the signals of the body, becoming aware of the body, The body is always talking to us, so we can adjust energy, thoughts, and actions to make sure with that we're bringing balance into our bodies. That's exactly what it takes to be happy. It's constant self-observation. What needs to be adjusted. One more breath in here. Get ready for that side tripod plank, right? So lifting that back leg and moving that left foot to the outside, toes pointing straight to the left. Left heel tracking right under that left knee, bottom hip, lifting yourself up, opening the chest towards the sky, and breathe here. One more breath. Exhale, drop the right hip all the way to the floor. Breathe the chest all the way to the left. Adjust the hips, adjust the legs, and bring your right shoulder, elbow, I meant to say the right elbow, into that left knee to help you come into your Ardha Matsyendrasana. It's a variation here with the right leg extended. How can you use the breath to bring relaxation? Using the breath as a healing throughout the entire practice. One more breath. And slowly release that twist to the left, walking your chest and your hands all the way to the right, lifting yourself up back into downward facing dog. Very nice. Just notice how the hips, the legs, the glutes are starting to feel. Inhale, bring your right leg up and back. As you exhale, bring your right foot forward between the hands for high lunge, crescent lunge. Right knee tracking above the front heel, lifting in the back leg, maybe bending the back knee slightly. And make sure the back heels completely lift up. So you're stretching those left toes. Neutralize the pelvis, engage the core, lengthening through the crown of the head. So that was a review of how you settle your body into this crescent lunge. Arms overhead, inhale. Spread your fingers, imagine your fingers have some energy reaching all the way up to the universe. As you ground yourself through your feet, rooting to the earth. Strong legs, inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Now bring your palms together in the center of the heart. Gentle twist to the left, to the right, my bad. Gentle twist to the right. Drop that left elbow on the right knee. Avoid touching your thigh with your belly. Lower the hips slightly. And as you press the elbow into that right thigh, use that as a traction to help you bring the right shoulder to stack the shoulders and bringing the gaze to the right. So the palms of your hands are trying to be on the center of the chest. Squeeze your belly, lower the hips, engage your right hip by hugging it to the midline. One more breath. Keep the legs strong, undo the twist slowly. Come back into crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, hands down, stepping back to downward facing dog. 2 rounds of breath. Settle here. Notice that internal heat. Notice a tendency to start criticizing your abilities. Let it go. Same thing. Left side, inhale, reaching left leg up. Exhale, crescent lunge. Just take a moment there to feel your body on the left side. It's almost like you have two bodies, and honoring each side with the same care and tenderness, that gentle awareness. What can be strengthened? What can be softened? And that includes your attention and your focus. That includes the breath. Palms together in the center of the heart. Twist your chest to the left. Right elbow on top of that left thigh. And once you touch, once you land in there, then that's when you're going to use that traction to continue rotating the chest. Palms in the center of the chest, shoulders relaxed, gaze looking back. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep that left hip towards the center of the mat, tends to open. We're strengthening and increasing flexibility, all in balance. One more breath. Nice and slow onto the twist. This is where you want to get out, right? But do it slowly. Arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, hands down, stepping back and downward facing dog. 2 breaths. If you need child's pose, take it. Or any pose that helps you to feel relaxed. And then gently walk the feet and the hands to the center for Malasana. Toes out, heels in. Grab any props that you need to make this pose accessible to your body. Deep squat. Once again, hearts are straight up. Palms pressing into each other. Hug your knees in. Push your knees away with the elbows. Breathe in and calm in the breath. One more breath. You're doing great. Good, and then as you exhale, back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms up. Settle here. Now bring your palms together in the center of the heart and then release them into the hips. So in crescent lunge, your hips are square. Hip bones straight up to the front of the mat. We want to maintain those hips square. We're going to transition slowly into warrior 3. And if you keep your hands on your hips, it's going to help you to have those police hands. So notice the tendency for the left hip to open. We want to keep it closed and focused. So another thing before we go, I want you to touch your hip bones. And those are going to be, imagine they are like some light. And you want that light to point straight up to the mat. So right now they are pointing straight forward. As you transition into your warrior 3, you want those headlights to focus down and not out to the side. Does that make sense? So let's try that. Take an inhale, hands into the hips. As you exhale, transition your weight into your right toes and feet. So you can hover the back leg. Notice where the headlines are trying to go. Bring your right hand into the right hip and bring it to the center. Kicking that left heel, drop the chest slightly down. Hands or fingertips on blocks as an option, keeping the right leg slightly bent. I just want you to focus. We're working more on the hip stability, core engagement, lengthening and staying calm. One more breath. Now press your right foot to come into tree pose, Vikrasana. Resting that left foot somewhere on your right leg. And once again, the hip lines of your hip bones are straight forward. And lengthen through the crown of the head as you ground yourself through the heel. You can keep your hands on the hips. You can reach them straight up to the sky, or just any other position that feels fun and joyful to you. And just notice the tendency to take this practice so serious. We're just trying to keep happy hips by bringing awareness into all the muscles that are responsible for us to be able to be mobile in our wonderful bodies. We want to be able to squat down. We want to be able to find stability and balance. We want to be able to run, to walk, to do the stairs. So it's all about maintenance with kindness. There is no space for judgment. One more breath. Set an intention here to just let go of expectations and embrace the beauty of being in the present. One more here. Now we're gonna do all that backwards, guys. And I know that right hip probably is pretty much in fire, but let's just finish it up nicely, gracefully, and slowly. Wherever you are with your hands, back to the hips. Long inhale. Exhale, kicking that left leg back to warrior three. 2 breaths in here. Bend that front knee to gently land the back foot slowly into crescent lunge. Inhale. Palms together in the center of the heart. Twist the chest to the right, lean forward, elbow to the thigh, and back into how we started. Right hip hugging in. 1 inhale. Exhale and do the twist slowly back to crescent lunge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Stepping back into plank. Breathe in. Breathe out. Back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Notice, observe, compassion, awareness. Left side, inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, crescent lunge. Remember the headlines, your hip bones, right? Those are going to be your point to become aware how your hips are being positioned, alignment based throughout the poses. And in these practices, the alignment and how we stack our bones is to make sure we're engaging the right muscles for complete balance and strength. Hands into the hips. Headlines are forward. Now we want to bring them straight back down, right? As you bring your chest forward and down, shift the weight into that left foot, find your warrior three. If you lose your balance, that's fine. Just find humor on it. Adjust, breathe. Keep the back leg strong, kicking through the heel. We want that back leg be strong like a stick, not like in a spaghetti. Breathing in, breathing out. Now press your left heel down, come all the way into tree pose. Right foot into that left leg. Hands in anywhere that helps you feel strong. Relax your focus, relax your breath. Feel that stillness, tranquility as you soften your breath. Continue cinching from the waist and Feel the weight of your body on your left toes. Get ready as we are going to gracefully, mindfully, and slowly reverse the sequence. Warrior 3. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Exhale. Crescent lunge. Nice and slow. Arms overhead. Palms in the center of the heart. Exhale. Twist into the left. Lean that left into that left thigh with your right elbow. Twisted high lunge. Keep the chest right in the center of your palms. That's not a must. That's just a blueprint. If you're not there, that's okay. One more inhale. Exhale, gently undo that twist back into that crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back into plank. Full inhale, plank. Exhale, come into your forearms. Dolphin plank. Plank on your forearms. Drop the pelvis slightly, grow through the crown of the head. Inhale. Exhale, thighs, hips. Untuck your toes, open the chest, Sphinx pose. Close your eyes here. We're gonna stay for 4 breaths. Spacious inhale. Long, relaxing exhale. Lengthen the sacrum, press your feet into the floor. Beautiful. Slowly press back into child's pose. Go into your knees, knees together or apart. Hands forward, hands back. Just rest the forehead, connect to your intuition here to observe how the body is reacting to the practice. One more breath. And as you exhale, come into your tabletop again. 2 rounds of cat-cow. On pace, as you inhale, you open. As you exhale, you close. Now from tabletop, we're gonna come into cow legs, okay? And this is a fun way to do it, but if you need a block or a blanket nearby, this is a good time to grab one. What we're gonna do, we're gonna bring that right leg back and outside, especially the knee, the right knee outside your left knee. Spread your feet apart and then seat back. So now you are stacking your knees above each other. And here I'm just gonna give you the front so we can be in the same, okay? Notice here, right? My left hip is hiking. I'm gonna try to settle down through my sit bones and press my heels away from my body. Then bring your right hand on top of the left, elbow stacking, maybe intertwine your upper arms and forearms and do the expression like this, or hug yourself in here. We want to have elbows to elbows as close as possible. Of course, your body will tell you what's doable to you, and that's where you adjust the pose to your body. We don't adjust the body to the pose, ever. So whichever options that you're choosing for your hands, we're stretching the upper back, so sink the chest back, spread the shoulder blades apart. Option 1, straight up spine. Option 2, lean forward. One more breath. And slowly come back, release the arms. Now, we're gonna lift ourselves up and we're gonna twist. Why? Because it's fun, and I'm trying to take you away from the typical structure that we practice. Today, it's all about getting you out of your comfort zone. So please try this, and if at the end you are a little bit off, just adjust, okay? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna press the palms into the floor, one in the front, one in the back. You're gonna lift yourself up, walk all the way to the right, moving until you go back to center. And so now your legs are on the opposite, right on top, left underneath. You can rewind the video to make sure what is it that I did and try to do it. Sit nice and tall, left arm on top of the right. Choose your version, close your eyes, couple breaths. Settle into this moment, that is all there is. Breathing into the outer hips, soften tension as you exhale. You can stay here, straight spine, or slowly forward fold. And slowly come all the way up onto the arms. Now this time we're not gonna do anything weird. Just lean back and extend both legs right in front of you, Paschimottanasana. Once again, if you need to sit taller, grab a blanket, grab a block, keep the shoulders right straight up the hips, flexing your toes, hugging the inner ankles. And then exhale slowly as you scoop the belly in, let the chest forward fall. Let your hands dictate how far down you need to be. Drop the chest, chin into the chest to stretch the back of your neck. And if you need to micro bend the knees in here, do that. I want you to honor your body. See if you can reconnect to the length of the breath. Equal inhale, equal exhale, softening tension anywhere you might feel it in the body. One more breath. And then as you exhale, slowly come all the way up. Supta Baddha Konasana, so come into your back, heels touch, knees out to the side. You can reach your hands above the head, make a pillow with your palms. Close your eyes. Let go of the breath. Soften any tension that you might feel anywhere in the body. Arrive into this moment to cool down the body, letting your heart soften, letting your breath soften, and your attention soften. Two more rounds of breath. Release the hands, close your knees, back to your chest, hug them in. Gently rock side to side. Extend your left leg all the way up into the ground and cross your right knee to the left. Extend maybe your right leg. You can use your left hand for support, opening that right arm out to the side. Just one more breath in here. And then slowly come back to center. Both knees once again hugging into the chest. Exhale, right leg extend all the way down to the floor. Crossing that left knee to the right, opening the left arm. Breathing in, breathing out. And slowly come back up to center. Hug the knees back into the chest. From here, you have two options. One, go straight into Shavasana. Make yourself comfortable and relax all the muscles. And option two, you're gonna roll into the hips and come into your comfortable meditation seated position. We just have 4 minutes left into the practice. So whether you're going into Shavasana or meditation, I'm going to leave that up to you. What does it feel the best choice for you right now? And just empower yourself as you breathe gently, letting the breath be. And using every exhale to help you ground your attention even more into this moment and into a more deeper relaxation. Feel your hips stronger. Feel your hips more relaxed. Your core is stronger and it's more free from any tension. The rest of the body follows with the same feeling of strength and relaxation. It's a moment of tranquility and silence for you to dive and explore your stillness. You're in Shavasana, nice and slow. Start to make your way into your comfortable seated, but please do that very slowly, very mindfully. Just take all the time you need. If you are in your meditation position, continue to follow your breath. Once you have found your comfortable seated here with your eyes closed, just take notes. How does it feel to be in your body right this moment? The more practice this type of mindful movements, the more consistent we are with our practice, the higher the chances for us to benefit from the yoga, enhancing our ability to reconnect to self-awareness and enhancing self-care based on the feedback that we receive from the body, from the mind, from the breath, and always adjusting to find that inner balance. And physically, physiologically, as we notice the body, we are also improving the bodily functions of the body to perform in a more healthy and balanced place. So feel gratitude for your consistency with the practice. And now the benefits of this practice are going to be even enhanced once you step out of your yoga mat. So this is where the magic happens, in the yoga mat. But the benefits that you leave throughout is outside the yoga mat. So with your hands together, you can rest them under your chest or in a prayer position. Connect to the breath one more time for a full inhale. Long exhale. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be loved. Thank you so much for practicing today. I look forward to seeing you again pretty soon. Once again, I appreciate your support. I will be adding this class on demand. Please continue to check the on-demand collection if you are in a membership. Every day, every week, there is new classes added. And once again, keep an eye on the weekend email. There is a survey coming up. I have so much to offer, new exciting changes to make the practice even more accessible, even more inspiring to you. I'm just going to give you a cue. We're going to come with a more short length of time and different dynamics. And so I will love to receive your feedback. So once again, thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend.